Hello, everybody. This is Di, antinatalist, and I had some thoughts that I was going to bring up. I haven't brought up anything yet on the war in Ukraine, and I just thought of a perfect analogy today, and I got this idea because this fellow on Facebook had made some comments that people who want others to go to war, like, other sons, he thinks that they should be the first on the battlefield. Well, he's a parent of two children. How can you be any more blind than to think that you didn't place your child in harm's way when you had them? And it's just so delusional to think, to think those things. And he also made a comment that said, that in response to having children, he said that some people bought into the elite's trap of thinking that it's the American dream to have children. And he's younger than me. I believe he's maybe 15 years younger than me. So, okay, I did not buy into any trap. And he's just trying to, force blame onto other people and to some, quote, elites, unquote, that he doesn't even know. Before he had children, he knew that wars happen. He took American history, world history. He knew that as people die, I'm sure he had grandparents that, ceased to exist and who suffered and, had disease, and he certainly knew that there was crime in the world, and he knew that everybody eventually died. So, it's kind of hard to blame the elites of sorts who you don't even know, and assume that they are trying to force you into being a parent because it's such an American dream. People are just so unaccountable. People want to blame somebody else, or society, or the government, or the president, or the elites, or the Illuminati. What a joke. He decided to insert his penis into a fertile vagina. And so now he has to pay the price of being a parent. So own up, Daddy-O. Now, as far as the war, people are really not used to seeing hordes of Anglo people fleeing for their lives, clutching their children, their pets, a handful of their possessions, crying in desperation. It's just not seen that often, especially in our lifetimes. People who are living now. And people are, concerned because, this is probably the first war that, they've seen on TV and such. However, wars are going on every single day in every single city and country. Even though the people in Ukraine are sad and lonely and desperate and crying and screaming and dying and are in pain, listen, folks, that very same thing is going on in your backyard, in your family, in your house, and next door to you. People suffer. People are in fear. People are lonely. People are scared to death of the future. People are crime victims. People are being assaulted in their own families. There's child abuse, and it never seems to end. Every single human emotion that is entertained by the people who are involved in the Russian and Ukraine war are absolutely feelings that every single person can go through in their life. It's just magnified being a war situation. And let's talk about unfairness, okay? People may think that this is, truly an unfair and useless situation, a callous war, something that was totally preventable, something that was uncalled for, and as a result of a dictatorship and a cruel man, and chaos, and but I want to use the word unfairness because that's probably at the heart of any crisis. So with that in mind, reproduction was careless. Reproduction is unfair. The real war is reproduction, folks. And if people did not have children, we would not have wars. Especially male children. So every bit of the desperation and crying and losses that are going on right now in Ukraine, and subsequently as Russia feels the heat of what other countries are going to be penalizing them for, this is a daily occurrence in life. Oh, come on, dogs. It's a daily occurrence, folks. People are in prisons, screaming and crying, in desperation and lonely. People are in nursing homes, and, they're tortured. They're lonely, crying, screaming, in pain. There's children and families who are, being abused every day. There's people that lose their homes for financial reasons or through hurricanes and floods. And so I know this. I didn't really prepare for this video too well, so it's a bit sloppy. But I hope you do get the main gist of this conversation, because even though war crimes and wars in general are unfair and they're ghastly, life is unfair and ghastly. And procreation in this day and age is very preventable. And if you think war is a scary venture, and if you think it's cruel and unfair, then you should definitely think procreation is cruel and unfair. We can prevent all forms of harm and unfairness and war, poverty, and crime if we don't reproduce. And this video is not made to dismiss any of the sufferings going on in Europe right now. That was not my point at all. And it's to actually magnify their sufferings. But sufferings are going on every day, everywhere, globally. just continual amounts of suffering. And, I think the media, they bring things into the forefront, and they broadcast these unfairnesses and crimes and cruelties. But, folks, as soon as we're placed into existence, we are at the mercy of our own body and our own sufferings, mental, physical, and the cruelties of others, and the unfairness that our parents have dealt us. So that was my analogy to compare the current war to the crimes of existence that we all face. And if you are a parent, it is not because you were sold on, the elites promoting of the American dream, or having children is, a great thing. You weren't sold on that at all. A vagina and a penis connected. And only you were to blame for that. So, when I was very young, I saw pain and suffering, and I saw, very bad things happen in my own family. And, I saw relatives who died. So I was not deceived by, some elites who, convinced me to have children, because, all you have to do is open up your mind and, quit being brainwashed and deluded, and, choose what you choose to believe. Don't believe what other people say. Think for yourself. And if you thought, raising children was a blessing, just go down to a children's ward of a hospital and see the cancer victims. Just open up the paper and read about child abuse. So, as young as like 5 years old, a child can process